and welcome to ET TV, our third programme, but first of 2006. So, Happy New Year, everyone. Having just bilocated in something of a nanosecond, I thought I'd decide, well, I think I'd change. Of course, this has nothing to do with continuity, or the lack of it. But to the matter in hand. In Programme 3, we'll be featuring Alfred Weber of the Peace in Space Initiative. Then we'll be looking and talking with David Hamill, a Canadian contactee. Staying with that theme, we'll be then featuring Sixto Paz Wells, our Peruvian contactee of the last 30 years. And then we'll be meeting with John Lennon, and we'll be hearing about his UFO and ET experiences. And finally, listening to Daniel Sheehan, a US attorney involved with the Disclosure Project. The issue of truth can be a really annoying thing in terms of it refusing to go away, no matter what various bodies with vested interests may have or say or do in keeping it all hidden. The Canadian Prime Minister, Paul Martin, in 2004 declared to the UN General Assembly, "Space is our final frontier. It has always captured our imaginations, and what a tragedy it would be if space became one big weapons arsenal and the scene of a new arms race." Paul Hellyer at the Exopolitics conference was one of those individuals who was courageous enough to go on record as stating the reality of UFOs. He's one of many individuals who are forging a path to public acknowledgement of this fact. Another of those individuals is Alfred Lambremont Weber, one-time advisor to President Carter. And here we will listen to him on the Jerry Pippin show taken from March 2005, giving us an insight into the SDI, and that is Star Dreams Initiative, an alternative to the weaponization of space.
Exopolitics is a model of the universe in which we live. It's a certain way of looking at it. And the dominant model of the 20th century was that all intelligent life ends at the geostationary orbit. That's the orbit that's 22,242 miles up, where you place a satellite at a fixed point on Earth. And what the 20th century model says is that there's no more intelligent life out beyond the geostationary orbit. And the exopolitics model is kind of the flip side of that. And it says that, well, we live in a populated universe which is filled with intelligent, evolving civilizations, mediated under universe law, subject to universe governance forums, operating under universe politics, and we're an entry-level planet. It means that we are a planet that is just becoming aware. Our population of its entry into an organized, populated universe, and we're what some scientists call a zero-level planet, and a one-level planet is a planet that kind of made it in. They know that we live in a populated universe, and there are legal, formal relations between it and other planetary systems and other and the universe governance systems, and we're just now entering. It's like a child who someday gets to a certain age and it goes to pre-kindergarten. So it's entering pre-kindergarten. It's entering the educational system. We're about now to enter the organized planetary system. There are a number of remote viewers who explore this area. The Star Dreams Initiative as a project is now in the early stages. So what we are doing is we have taken the publicly available sources and design the project plan based on the publicly available sources. And as the project moves forward, we will be taking on staff that, or hiring remote viewing consultants, or rather we will be encouraging the governments of the world to go forward with this on an open and transparent basis.
We apologise for the technical problems earlier in the programme. The people responsible for them would have been sacked, but that would leave no one left to make the programme. We now move on to the case of David Hamill, who is a Canadian contactee who was first contacted in about 1975. Since that time he has been given a lot of information, and he has built a number of devices and items at his home in Canada. Our friend Ernest Vashai went to see David in December 2005 and took his camcorder with him, and he was able to give us this footage.
When was the first time you made contact with them?
First time I made contact with
These people,
who?
the entities that came to your living room and met you, these three.
I don't understand what you just said.
When you were at home, when they appeared?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's in 1975.
12th October.
At 8 o'clock at night.
8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Were you alone?
While they were playing the Waltons. The Walton show.
The Walton show. 8 o'clock at night.
On TV.
How did they appear to you?
Huh?
Did they manifest out of thin air? Did they walk through the wall?
Oh, they just appeared as a dot. Right in the center of the TV. You see those dots going all around there.
Yes.
One dot. Then it appeared on each side of me.
Yes.
I was blocked.
Yes.
Totally.
Three of
That
them.
person was standing here and the other person standing there. See? On. Our car was on board the ship.
What names did they have? What were their names?
A, on, and Archon.
A, On, and Arkan.
Yeah.
Wow. And when was the last time you had contact with them? Like this, the way they appeared. When was the last time?
They appeared and they just put their hands like that on me and whoosh, right through my roof and everything into the ship. That ship I told you.
Yes. Okay. And did they explain why they were doing this, or why they wanted to help us?
They didn't explain
They didn't say
nothing. They
nothing.
just told me, help yourself, take the dimensions you want in order to get in between the wings and everything else.
Yes.
See how it's built.
Just like, why this technology, for example?
Why this technology? It's about time we have a change.
Okay. And
We're poisoning ourselves
yes,
foolishly.
yes. And basically, this technology here that we have, what is the primary source of energy? Is it plasma? Is it magnetism? Electricity?
It's everything.
Over unity.
Everything.
Okay. And obviously, we need to deploy this right now because, as we've seen the world, things have changed. We need this thing out there, basically.
Okay.
Oh, he's doing it then. What is he doing?
What is controlling that now?
Eh?
What is controlling that?
What's controlling that? It's me.
What's that you're holding in your hand?
The magnet. Another magnet. In between there should be a field so to produce the electricity that already there.
They will go on forever.
Yeah.
Is it because you're doing it, or could anybody do it?
Ah, yes, you can do it, you can feel it.
Oh,
You feel the magnetic.
You can feel the field.
Yes, spaceship, you wanted to have a look at your...
What?
your
Oh, hey, you want to come and see the ship?
Yeah, he wants to do a quick
Come to back here. At the back.
inside.
Oh,
No, outside.
No?
no, it's
Oh. That's the two wings.
oh here.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
The snow is on top of it. Snow is on top of it. Yeah, they're already with magnets and everything.
Yeah.
Balance, perfect. You see that cross there? There's a wee hole in it.
wheel?
A wee hole in it where a rod goes there.
Okay.
Anti-gravity device.
Huh?
Anti-gravity.
Yeah. It takes this one, and the other one. They all go one on top of the other and they flow.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Probably some kind of a stand to hold, support the whole thing.
See?
Oh, that's a hop-
That's the ceiling inside.
That's the ceiling, the top?
Yeah. And you want to take a picture inside. See the three wings inside. Three small wings.
Okay.
And the air comes. Huh? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's separated. There's one opening, two openings, three openings. Three closed, three openings.
Yeah.
And this, when the wing is there, there's a magnet here, and there's magnets on the wing, so it pushes the wing like that. About 6 feet long.
Well, they say it's magnetic. Oh, but
Yeah. It's all magnetic.
they travel the magnetic field.
We continue with our feature on Sixto Paz Wells, the ET contactee for over 30 years, with translation by his good friend Cecilia Martinez. Sixto explains how the Earth has been rescued by ETs in ancient times and the relevance for us of the end of the Mayan calendar, which is 2012.
Sí, ellos dicen que nuestro planeta Tierra
They say our planet Earth,
murió hace 1.200 millones de años.
they die 1,200 million years ago. Thank you.
Sí. The planet dead.
The planet died completely.
Which planet do we know?
Planet Earth.
La Tierra.
Oh, it
Completely
died. Okay.
is going to die. Or
Oh,
it's
is
dead.
it the process of
Yes,
dying?
yes, or it's
No,
nearly dead.
No, el planeta se murió.
They
Oh,
died
it was dead.
completely. Yes.
Sí,
Oh.
el producto de impacto de lluvia meteórica.
It was because the Lennon of the meteoritos in the planet Earth hit the planet
Meteorites.
Earth. Yes,
Sí.
meteorites.
Oh, okay.
Ya,
Hit the planet Earth.
ellos dicen que esto ocurrió, o sea existió un impacto de meteoritos hace 65 millones de años.
There exists an impact of the meteoritos 65,000 million years ago.
65. Yes.
65,000 million years ago.
No, 65 million.
Years ago.
Ajá.
This is when the dinosaurs
Yes.
went
Yes.
then.
Yes.
Oh,
Pero
okay.
mucho antes que eso,
But before that, many
Yes.
years, many
Sí.
thousand million years before.
sí, 1,200 million years ago.
Okay, thank you.
La Tierra cuando recién empezaba la vida.
They are when start to beginning to born again. Life start to growing in the planet
Cuando
again.
todavía no había vida inteligente en la Tierra.
Still was no intelligent life in planet Earth.
La Tierra fue impactada.
The Earth will be got a big impact again.
Y la vida en la Tierra se extinguió.
And the life in the planet die again.
Según los extraterrestres, el tiempo en el universo es como una espiral ascendente.
According to the extraterrestrials, time is like a spiral form.
Right.
En una de las curvas de la espiral la Tierra se murió.
And one of the corners or curves, planet Earth die.
Pero el universo continuó.
But the universe continues.
Entonces un grupo de civilizaciones
And a group of the extraterrestrial civilization,
recibió la autorización
they got the authorization
por parte de jerarquías cósmicas
for the part of the hierarchy,
cosmic
hierarchy, cosmic hierarchy,
para viajar a través del tiempo y del espacio
to travel through time and space
y llegar a la Tierra antes de que muriera
and come back to the planet Earth before completely die.
e impedir de que muriera.
And
This was when back, or you mean now?
no, before
Before,
1
okay.
million.
So they had permission to come and
Yes,
help
they
us
giving
come
authorization to
back to
them
life.
to come back to the planet Earth and rescue.
Para
To
impedir de que muriera.
because it's nearly die. It's in the last state of coma.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
they say, coma.
Ya, o sea, vinieron antes de que el planeta muriera.
They come back before the planet completely die.
Ya, y pidieron que muriera.
And they stop the planet Earth to completely finish.
Entonces le crearon un tiempo alternativo.
And they create an alternative time for the planet.
Una especie de paradoja espacio-temporal.
It's like a parallel time.
Parallel universe, would you call it?
Time.
Or time.
Sí.
Time for rescue the planet Earth.
Es like a parallel reality.
Well,
Oh.
Ok, tragar al otro.
one time they're going to take in the other time.
O sea,
right. Okay.
Los mayas habían profetizado.
The Maya civilization is being
Prophecy.
they're giving the prophecies about that.
Sí, diciendo de que nos estábamos acercando al giro del tiempo.
We reach to the turnover time.
Right.
O sea, la llamada sincronización de los tiempos.
They call the synchronization of time.
Lo cual tendría que ocurrir el 22 de diciembre
It is supposed to happen 22nd of December,
del año 2012.
the year 2012.
O sea, lo que va a ocurrir es un parto planetario.
What they're going to happen is like a planetary birth.
Sí,
Yes, birth.
en el que
And how will that happen?
ambos tiempos se van a unir
Because the two times becoming one.
y la Tierra va a ocupar el lugar del planeta muerto en el real tiempo del universo.
And the planet Earth is going to take in the space of the time when they been die. It's like death with the life to reality.
O sea, sabemos que esto es muy difícil de entender
We know this is very complicated or difficult to understand and believe,
porque esto es una realidad de cuarta dimensión.
because this is a reality of the fourth dimension.
Not many people know that one of the world's greatest popular music figures had a UFO sighting. Here we have a rare recording of his own account of what happened. Following this, we will look at an article which was published in the Daily Telegraph in 2004 about another experience that John Lennon had.
Little note on walls and bridges, it says, I saw a UFO. And I was just finished doing walls and bridges. I'd mastered it or done the last tape of it. And I was really just relaxed and feeling good. And it was summer in New York and I had the window open. And lo and behold, there was this thing just hovering sort of 100 yards away. But I saw it so close, it wasn't in the sky or nothing, you know. And it was like I could have hit it with a brick if I'd thrown a stone at it. I couldn't see the colours because it was dusk. It was a good clear summer night, you know, the sky was very clear. And round the bottom of it were just ordinary looking electric light bulbs, blinking off and on alternatively, like on a billboard or something. And on the top of it was a red light. And the thing I noticed was that there was no noise, and I could hear that freeway down below, all the cars going. So I realized, oh, it's not a helicopter, then it must be a balloon. But it was so close to the rooftop that it couldn't be a balloon. So all the rational things I went through, not a helicopter, balloon, it's not a balloon, it's too close to the roof, and it's maneuvering too well to be a balloon. So I just watched it, and I was there for about 5 or 10 minutes. It went off down the East River, and there it was, and that's all I've got to say about it.
Following on from the account of John's UFO sighting, we will now look at an article about another strange experience he had. This article was written by Uri Geller and published in the Daily Telegraph, UK edition, in December 2004. In it, Geller mentions his friendship with John Lennon and how, when they were in New York together at a restaurant, John told him of an incredible tale of being visited. Readers are encouraged to check out the story by going to www.telegraph.co.uk and entering search keywords of Geller Lennon.
Good morning. My name is Daniel Sheehan. I'm an attorney and serving as general counsel to the Disclosure Project. I'm a 1967 graduate of Harvard College in American Government Studies and Constitutional Law, and a graduate of Harvard Law School. And I served as general counsel and one of the co-counsel for the New York Times in the Pentagon Papers case, and was involved in briefing and arguing the case in front of the United States Supreme Court, giving permission to the New York Times to publish the classified documents, the 47 volumes of the Pentagon Papers. Subsequent to my service in that case, I went back to Harvard to the Divinity School to study Judeo-Christian social ethics and public policy, did my master's work and PhD work there, and became general counsel for the United States Jesuit headquarters in Washington, D.C., assigned to the National Social Ministries Office and their Public Policy Office. It was there in 1977 that I was contacted by Miss Marcia Smith, who was the director of the Science and Technology Division of the Congressional Research Service. She asked to meet with me, and I met with her, and she informed me that President Carter, upon taking office in January of 1977, held a meeting with then the Director of Central Intelligence, who was George Bush Sr., and demanded that the Director of Central Intelligence turn over to the President the classified information about unidentified flying objects and the information that was in the possession of the United States intelligence community concerning the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence. This information was refused to the President of the United States by the Director of Central Intelligence, George Bush Sr. The Director insisted that the President, in order to have access to this information, needed to have clearance to declassify this information, because the DCI suspected that the President was preparing to reveal this information to the American public. The Congressional Research Service Science and Technology Division, under the directorship of Marcia Smith, was contacted by the House Science and Technology Committee and instructed to undertake a major investigation of the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence and the relationship of the UFO phenomenon to this. I was contacted by Ms. Smith and asked to see if we could obtain access to the Vatican Library to obtain the information that the Vatican had with regard to extraterrestrial intelligence and the phenomenon of the UFOs. I pursued that with the permission of Father William J. Davis, the director of the National Office, and we were refused access. When I reported this to Ms. Smith, she then later subsequently asked me to participate in a project which I can go into some detail during the question and answer period or later to individuals, pursuant to which I was given access to, as a special consultant to the United States Library of Congress Congressional Research Service, to the classified portions of the Blue Book project of the Air Force. At that point, It was in 1977, approximately May of 1977. I went to the Madison building of the United States Library of Congress. There was no one in the building at that time. It was brand new. I was directed to a basement office where there were 2 guards at the door and a third sitting at the table who took my identification, verified that I'd been designated as a special consultant to the Congressional Research Service of the United States Library of Congress, and was admitted to the room. I thereupon found photographs, some dozen photographs, of what is unquestionably an unidentified flying object on the ground that had crashed and plowed a furrow in a field of snow, and it was embedded in an embankment. There were United States Air Force personnel surrounding this craft, taking photographs of the craft. And one of the photographs, I could see that there were some symbols on the side of the craft. And so I proceeded through the photographs and found a close-up photograph of these symbols. I'd been instructed that I was to take no notes and had to leave my briefcase and all my identification outside of this room, but I had brought with me a yellow pad. And so what I did is I opened up the yellow pad and refocused the overhead camera onto the same size as the cardboard backing of the yellow pad, and I physically traced the copies of the symbols on the side of this craft, closed the yellow pad back, put the microfiche back into the canister, reclosed the box that I had, and I said, it is time for me to leave. And I took this and proceeded to leave the office, at which point the security guards stopped me, and one of them said, what is that you have there, Mr. Sheehan? At which point I handed the yellow pad to him, and he flipped through all the yellow pages and never found the copy that I had. And so I took that with me and brought it to the United States Jesuit headquarters, had a meeting with the staff, with Father William J. Davis, reported this to them, was authorized at that time by the United States Jesuit headquarters to make a report to the National Council of Churches and to request that the entire 54 major religious denominations of our country undertake a major study of extraterrestrial intelligence, which they declined to do. I'm more than happy to testify under oath to these details to the United States Congress, and would be happy to meet with any members of the press at that time. You may recall I also served as chief counsel to the Karen Silkwood case, in which we obtained the rulings in the Karen Silkwood case. I also served as chief counsel in the Iran-Contra case. It was the first one to testify before the United States Congress to the existence of the off-the-shelf enterprise of Richard Secord and Albert Hakim. I'll be more than happy to share the details of what I believe to be the relationship between this off-the-shelf enterprise and the secret government, which is concealing this information from the American public. And I am happy and proud to serve as general counsel to the Disclosure Project. Thank you very much.